Are you thinking about starting a new farm or trying a new farm map layout? Or maybe this is your first playthrough in Stardew Valley. I'm starting a new save file soon, so today I'll cover everything you might want to consider when it comes to planting crops in spring year 1. I'll break down the basics, but also offer some more advanced strategies if you want to try and push things even further. If you're watching this shortly after upload, I'm probably streaming my latest playthrough on Twitch, so come say hi. I built a dashboard progress tracker that I'm excited to demo and use throughout my playthrough. Okay, anyway, let's start with the relevant quests and bundles in the first month. One of your first quests is called Getting Started, and you need to cultivate and harvest a parsnip. Conveniently, Mayor Lewis has broken into your farmhouse and given you 15 parsnip seeds to start. It's worth talking about the crow mechanics before we go any further. Every night, there's a chance that crows will eat crops on the farm. Crows will not eat crops grown from wild seeds, crops that were planted that day, or crops within range of one or more scarecrows. Unfortunately, when you're first starting out, you don't have the recipe to craft scarecrows. That's where this magic number of 15 parsnips come into play. And that's because if you have 15 or fewer crops planted, a crow will not try and eat your crop. It's only when you have 16 or more crops. Growing and harvesting those parsnips will give you enough farming experience to get to level 1, and that's where you unlock the recipe to craft a scarecrow. Moving on to the community center bundles, you'll need a parsnip, green bean, cauliflower, and potato for the spring crops bundle. That bundle will give you 20 speed grow, and it's worth mentioning that you might want to plant 2 or more of these crops if you don't yet have a scarecrow, because you could lose those. Alternatively, you could always just wait until you have a scarecrow. The other bundle we need to talk about is the quality crops, specifically the 5 golden parsnips you'll need. If you want to try and knock this out in year 1, I have a couple pointers. Pierre begins selling basic fertilizer on the 15th for 100 gold. Not only is the quality of the parsnip affected by fertilizer, but it's also affected by the day you harvest it and also your farming level. On screen is an example of the map predictor. You can see the yellow spots where a gold quality parsnip could be harvested is affected by the fertilizer quality, my farming skill, and the days played. Moving on, if you're looking for some free cauliflower to plant, donate at least 5 items to the museum and you'll get 9 cauliflower seeds in return. Just remember that they take 12 days to grow, so try and knock this out early enough that they'll be ready before the end of the month. I do also have a birthday that you might want to consider spring crops for. Pam's birthday is on the 18th and she loves parsnips. More importantly, once you get her friend level high enough, she has a chance of sending you a gift in the mail. One of the items that can be is a battery pack, and those can be hard to get early on. I've knocked out a lot of the miscellaneous stuff, so let's talk about an overall crop strategy for the rest of the month. I have 3 options here. Option 1 is to simply go at your own pace. Buy what seeds you can afford and are willing to manually water. Just keep in mind that energy is your biggest limiting factor this early on. For something a little more structured, we need to talk about strawberries. You can buy strawberry seeds during the Egg Festival, which is on the 13th for 100 gold each. If you complete the Spring Crops bundle before then, you'll have access to 20 speed grow as a reward. That's important because if you plant those strawberries on the 13th and use speed grow, you'll get 3 full harvests. I recommend doing all of your tilling and watering before you even go to the festival, so you have more time for planting strawberries at the end of the day. If you're willing to grind out farming level 3 and foraging level 3, I'm not in love with this method, but it does mean you can get 3 harvests for more than just 20 strawberries. Finally, if you're not trying to get 3 harvests, you can plant by the 16th for 2 full harvests of strawberries. Hell, if you're experienced with the game, you might be able to get level 6 farming for quality sprinklers before then. My third and final option is to focus on experience farming. It's not about selling these crops for cash, but rather getting enough experience to unlock quality sprinklers at level 6. For this sort of farming, I recommend kale or potatoes. Potatoes because they have a chance for double harvest, and kale because they're good overall for experience. There's some milestones you need to consider here, like the speed grow that I mentioned at level 3, the tiller profession, which becomes available at level 5 and allows crops to sell for 10% more, and of course the quality sprinklers at level 6. I've focused on experience farming in the past, but not to make gold off of selling spring crops. Instead, I like to focus on setting up my farm with quality sprinklers for starfruit in the summer for a massive return. I have videos discussing the Skull Cavern method that helps fund this if you want to check it out. People have massively improved these runs since I completed mine, but there's still a lot of good info there. Before I wrap this up, I want to talk about what I would consider some freebie crops. First are the rice shoots that you can get from tilling an artifact spot or even fishing. If you plant them near water, you don't have to water them every day, and that's free experience in my opinion. Another good one is getting coffee beans. They're not particularly profitable, but they carry into summer, which is great. More importantly, the dust sprites on levels 40 to 79 in the mines have a chance of dropping them. So if you're looking for coffee, this is a good place to start. Finally, I love the idea of getting an ancient seed early on. You can do this by farming the bugs in the mines, and each of them have a 0.5% chance of dropping an ancient seed. That means on average, if you kill 200 bugs, you should get an ancient seed. Sometimes I like to start my days off by going straight to the mines and farming dust sprites or these bugs for ancient seeds or coffee. If I don't get any of those drops early in the day, I'll just reset and try again. It's all going to depend on how much time you want to dedicate to this. So yeah, that's pretty much my thought process when it comes to planting crops in your first month of Stardew Valley. But let me know in the comments if you have other recommendations too. I really just wanted to get my thoughts on this organized in some sort of format. If you think I should do other seasons or even beyond year 1, let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll catch up with you soon.